You may think that doors are made to be opened, but not these doors. They must remain closed. After all, behind them are secrets that could change the world, and perhaps let out things which would cause mass devastation if the doors were ever opened. From a scary hotel door which had to be locked forever, to a secret American bunker almost no one knows about. Baratakon Kalara. All over the world, there are rich and expensive temples, but the world's richest temple is located in Kerala in southern India. The temple is called Sri Padmanabhaswamy, and it's the holy shrine to Masha Vishnu. Vishnu being the most powerful Hindu deity. The gold-plated temple was made in the 16th century, and it was said that the kings of Travancore had hid their massive wealth behind the walls of this temple. In 2011, the Indian Supreme Court demanded they go in and check. The local leaders warned that opening the vaults would disrespect and anger Masha Vishnu. They said this would lead to a catastrophic punishment. After all, they'd been proved right before in 1931. Someone tried to open up some of the vaults, but a sudden plague of cobras sprang out of them. But despite a lot of threats and also protests, they did open up these vaults. They opened up 5 of these 6 vaults. Inside, they found golden daggers, diamonds, and rubies. They also found golden crowns, golden statues, and golden elephants. There were golden vases and even a golden coconut studded with jewels. They calculated that the treasure's total worth was $1 trillion US. But you may be asking, if they opened 5 of these 6 doors, what happened to the final door? Well, that door is named Baratakon Kalara. Everyone was way too scared to open this door. There's a gigantic snake on the door. Also, scholars, priests, and religious leaders warned against opening it. They said the final door would bring grave misfortune. The only way to safely enter the vault would be if a Hindu priest or saint performed a sacred ritual. This ritual is known as the Garuda Mantra, but there's a problem. That is that there's no one alive who knows how to do this. The lawyer who opened up the 5 other vaults mysteriously passed away, and this made everyone even more scared to open the 6th door. That's why it remains shut to this day, and I think that's a good thing. But if the other 5 doors had $1 trillion worth of treasure, what's behind door number 6? President's nuclear bunker. If a nuke was launched at the United States, where would the president and his top spies go? You may think they would use the tunnel system under the White House, or maybe the specially made doomsday plane. Well, no, these are only temporary places and not somewhere where the president would hold up for a long time. Instead, if a nuke was launched at the USA, the president would go to a secret mountain. This base located in Virginia has been around for many years. We don't know when it was first built, but it's been around since before the year 2000. But it was only ever discovered in 2015. That was when someone from the Department of Homeland Security leaked information to Gawker. Billions of dollars have been spent on this base over the years, and the base's purpose is for continuity of government. This is what happens if there's a massive disaster and they need to keep the government going. The base could be used in case of a nuclear war, or also rioting, civil unrest, or an EMP going off above the White House. It could also be used for hurricanes, earthquakes, or asteroids from space. If there was an emergency, not only the president would go to this bunker, but so would all of the top Washington spies. According to official records, the base located on top of Peters Mountain is owned by the government, and various communications equipment like antennas are owned by AT&T. These allow the president to have communications even if all electronics are down. Since 2007, the base has undergone a $61 million renovation. There's not much on the surface except a gigantic vault door to enter. There's also a large AT&T logo which serves as a helipad. The budget for this comes out of the Department of Defense's black budget. This is basically their secret budget that the taxpayers can't look at. If you try and drive to here, there's a sign saying no entry, and behind that, there's likely the army guarding this base. I hope the door to this base is never open, because that means we'd be at nuclear war. This base would only be used if the White House was destroyed or unsafe. The existence of this is not known to much of the public, and that's likely because people would be annoyed that the president can hide out somewhere while they can't. It's good to know politicians and spies will be safe underground while we're getting nuked. The smallpox vaults. Smallpox is a very contagious and scary disease. Over the years, it's taken millions of lives. It's been found in the tombs of Egyptian mummies, and has even taken the lives of kings and queens. Smallpox causes a rash to develop all over the body. It also leads to organ failures and you passing away. Thankfully though, in 1798, Edward Jenner made a vaccine for smallpox, and since 1980 it's been eradicated. However, what many people don't realize is there are still remnants of the disease which are stored. It's confirmed that these are kept by the USA and Russia, and it's rumored the UK also has smallpox. These samples are stored inside top-secret military bioweapons facilities. If either sample was ever unleashed, the disease could multiply and take millions of lives. The UK will not confirm whether they have smallpox or not, but it's an open secret that they're storing it in the secretive bioweapons lab Porton Down. For years, scientists have said we should destroy the last remaining samples of smallpox. But Russia nor the USA want to do this. The USA can't trust Russia to get rid of it, and Russia can't trust the USA to get rid of it. So both sides pretty much have it as insurance in case of a biological arms race. Let's just hope these smallpox vaults remain sealed for good. Sphinx Hall of Records. One of the most amazing things in the world is the Great Sphinx of Egypt. But what's even more amazing is something tourists will never see. Underneath the Great Sphinx are various empty spaces. These have been discovered using ground-penetrating radars, and experts say these are the mythical Egyptian Hall of Records. This amazing find would have a massive amount of information and artifacts. The priceless records would tell us secrets, for example how the Egyptians built the pyramids. Some even believe that the Hall of Records could prove that aliens visited Earth during the time of the pharaohs, and some say it could even confirm the location of the underwater city of Atlantis. But for some unknown reason, Egyptian authorities block any excavations under the Sphinx. Maybe they know that the records under the Sphinx could hold massive secrets. Or maybe they're scared of conjuring up forces if they try and open these ancient vaults. After all, they are said to be cursed by mummies. Room 837. If you ever visit the Canadian Rockies, you may stay in the Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel. But if you stay at this hotel, you'll notice that one door is missing. The doors go from number 836 to 838. That's because door 837 has been sealed forever. But why is this? Well, in 1906, an entire family was taken out inside this room. While they were sleeping, someone came in and took all of their lives. Housekeeping discovered their bodies the next day, and they had handprints all over the walls. Since then, the room has been boarded up and plastered over. Officially, the hotel staff have to claim the room never existed, but many guests report seeing ghosts walking around the hallways. Taj Mahal Basement. It's said India's most famous landmark is the Taj Mahal. It's visited by 6.5 million people every year. But something even more amazing is underneath this famous landmark. The Mughals, who ruled over India for 300 years, built a massive complex underneath it. Shah Jahan built it to honor his favorite wife who passed away. This massive complex is behind many mysterious locked doors. Some say these rooms could be covering up that the Taj Mahal was initially a Hindu temple, not a Muslim palace. And others say this basement may be haunted by the ghost of Shah Jahan's wife. Many areas in the Taj Mahal are off limits or bricked up, but no one really knows what's inside them because no one has ever been allowed in. On Kalo Nuclear Facility. Have you ever wondered how we store nuclear waste? Unlike in cartoons, it's not simply dumped in a river. Instead, it's buried in this massive underground facility. This is deep in solid granite bedrock. The facility is at the end of a 5-mile tunnel, and it holds thousands of radioactive fuel rods. These will continue to be dangerous for 100,000 years. That's the same amount of time humans have been on Earth for. The nuclear waste will remain behind huge steel doors which will be closed forever. The facility is located on the western coast of Finland. But let's hope no future civilization can't understand the words "keep out" and opens these doors. Machu Picchu Tombs. Everyone knows the amazing city built by the Incas, Machu Picchu. It was built in medieval times, but only discovered in 1911. However, archaeologists say that we still haven't fully explored this city. They believe that underneath it are many tombs and caves. Radar analysis has shown that gold and other treasures are buried underneath the city, but it will be almost impossible to get into these chambers. They're worried that getting into these chambers would cause damage to the rest of the city, and that's why to this day the entrances remain bricked up and no one's been down there. Sadly, we may never discover what the Inca kings hid underneath Machu Picchu. Emperor Qin's secret tomb. Emperor Qin was the head of the first imperial Chinese dynasty, but as soon as he became the all-powerful leader, he began work on his tomb. He wanted to make sure that his afterlife was fit for a king. His massive tomb was worked on by 700,000 people. They built 8,000 unique life-size clay statues. These were to defend him in the afterlife. But we can only see the top of his tomb. The secret underside of this tomb remains sealed and we don't know what's down there. Archaeologists have said the tomb is protected by booby traps, and it's also believed to contain toxic mercury. Sadly, we simply don't have the technology to excavate this. Some archaeologists say that maybe one day we will, but they say it may take another 2,000 years. But now it's time to make your voice heard. Which was the most mysterious door on this list? If you want some more amazing videos, then check out my second channel. But as always, thanks for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.